All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another live stream. Could be, possibly, maybe. Let's see. However, I am quite late tonight because there was the new premiere episodes. Yes, that's 2 episodes for The Walking Dead's final episodes. The Walking Dead season 11, part 3. So episodes 17 and 18 hit tonight unexpectedly. Went ahead and couldn't resist to watch both first. So went ahead and did that, but I'll try to keep things mostly spoiler free for anybody who hasn't seen both episodes just yet. So let's see what you guys had to say. If anybody caught them, was able to go ahead and watch them tonight. All right, we got a few people joining. Late night, you got it. That's it, dudes. We got C. Benny. What's up, C. Benny? We got J. Dev. What's up, Jay? We got Daryl Dixon TV. What's up, man? Who's been doing a great job, I think, of posting some of the clips and content. So thanks for that, DD. Really cool that you appreciate that you do that, because then we can kind of see what's up and what's going on. And we got Papa Giles. What's up, man? How you doing? And yeah, I thought these episodes were awesome. Papa Giles says, yo, what's up, Trev? My God, these episodes were amazing. Really awesome, dudes. So I wish I could have started the stream with you guys at 9, like usual Eastern time, but we couldn't do it because the episodes were just released, and they totally screwed up with the episode releases, my dudes. They made a big whoopsie on Amazon Prime. So I usually watch Walking Dead streaming on Amazon Prime, streaming AMC Plus. They really screwed up this time. They posted episode 18 for viewing yesterday, like last night, like 1 a.m. in the morning or whatever, and they did not post episode 17. So they literally posted the wrong episode. Amazon Prime posted episode 18, but not 17, so you could watch. So I started watching. I'm like, hey, what's going on here? Because it starts off spoilers for this part where you've got Daryl, you've got Lance, and you guys know the start for episode 18 if you got to see it yet. If not, that's okay. I won't spoil too much away. But they totally screwed up and they totally posted episode 18 and not 17. But I can understand. It's a strange decision that AMC made to name this part 3 of season 11. I'm sure there's some legal, contractual reasoning for that, I bet. But it's hard to start a season off with episode 17. It's an honest mistake that AMC Premiere, Amazon Prime Video posted the wrong one, because it's hard to understand, okay, is it 17 or is it 18? And they posted 18, not 17. They screwed it up. But whatever, that's okay. Luckily, there's lots of streaming sites and lots of other stuff that you can check it on, or if you still have cable, you can still watch it on cable. But I'm noticing that as the years go by, I think less and less people are continuing with cable. With their cable subscriptions, they're more just streaming, which makes sense because, everybody's got a streaming platform now. Even AMC has their streaming. Disney's got their streaming. Netflix is streaming. So many of these series that used to be on cable are now, streaming only. So it's what it is. So what did you guys think of this episode? Jay said, unexpectedly, they announced a few weeks ago 2 episodes would drop today. Yeah, I didn't pick up on that. I didn't get the memo. I watch every article that comes through for Walking Dead. I pay attention. I check the news every day, every 2 days. And I didn't see that. Usually with AMC Premiere, they release the episodes on a Thursday, a couple episodes early. And this time they didn't do that. They released them episode 17 on the same day as regular air. But you can watch it in the morning, I guess. So you get it a day early, I guess. If they post it properly, right? And then with episode 18, they posted same day, so it kind of ended up being a week early still. You get to see the second episode, so you get to see a double premiere tonight, which is really really great. And they were both really good episodes. People had issues on viewing it. I could show you, actually, I could probably show you what it looks like for me, where I usually watch it. Give me 1 second, and I'll show you what they did. Not that it's a big deal. We'll go over this real quick. Not a big deal, but yeah. So let me mute the tab here. But so for Prime Video streaming, I'll show you mine. I don't have a problem showing you this. So check this out. What they did. They posted. You can see this, right? So you guys can see this. So episode 17 is not available. You see this right here? This video is currently unavailable. So they did not post episode 17. Instead, they only posted 18. Look at that. So you can watch 18, you can watch 16, Acts of God, the last season, but you cannot watch 17. So Amazon Prime streaming, where I usually go to watch it, Prime Video, a day early or a few days early, they screwed up. They posted 18 and not 17. You see that? So I'll show it to you because otherwise you might not believe me. So there's no play button for 17, so it's disabled. So Amazon screwed up. They posted 18, you can watch it. 17, you can't. There's no play button. So, and it skips. If you go to 16, it skips to 18. So Amazon screwed that up. So whatever, it's what it is. You can watch it other places and such. And yeah, but it's great, man. Really enjoy 18. Yeah, it was awesome one near the end, but. I just did the review for 18 before this with you guys, and the thing is like, if you haven't seen it yet, that's okay. You can watch it later, whatever. We'll kind of go over it here. But the thing is like, these are the first 2 episodes of the last 8. So the big question is, are they going to be able to resolve all the different things that are happening in Walking Dead within the next 6 episodes? So I thought that the second episode, which is episode 18, it made a lot of sense what happened at the end there. I like the wrestling stuff too. It was really funny, especially Daryl's reaction to it, right? Like Norman's reaction, he's like, what is this crap? That's kind of, I think like every grown man, like when they watch wrestling, like at first they're like, what is going on? It's not like MMA or something. It's like, what is this? What is going on? They're like fake fighting, right? But it's funny. But it makes a lot of sense that, they do that almost right away. Like you have the events that happen at the end of episode 18, you have it happen right away because, like, you only have 6 episodes left after those 2. So we only have 6 episodes left. I think they've confirmed that the final episode will not air early on premiere. So everybody will watch the final episode at the same time together, it seems like. Or at least the same day. They'll probably post it on premiere, the same day as it airs on cable regular. So that's what it is, dudes. But do you think they're going to be able to wrap up all the different loose ends that they have for Walking Dead in these last 6 episodes? And they also said that AMC is changing the final scene. So they filmed the episodes, they're producing them, and they're changing the very last scene in the final episode. So the final episode scene that they intended to have originally, they're switching it for whatever else is going to be. So could it be like a Rick scene? Could it be, I don't know, how would they end things off in the very last scene of the series? And whatever they did do originally, they've opted to switch it now. So did Andrew Lincoln show up for like a final sequence or something? He was on filming, he was there. So it could be cool to see him if it's the last episode. I hope we do, just to tie everything together. But even if they don't, they are starting to work on the Walking Dead spin-off series now too, which Rick and Michonne, the new series. So there's this little, comicbook.com has a trailer here. Rick and Michonne, new series right there for you guys. So new Rick and Michonne one, you can check it out, comicbook.com. Universe trailer teases, and it looks like it's got the 3 rings for the CRM. So Rick and Michonne likely at the CRM, likely captured by the CRM, something of the sort like that. So that's likely where we're gonna see them, Rick and Michonne at the CRM, whatever they do with the spin-off series. But the Negan and Maggie spin-off series got the jump on the others. So Isle of the Dead, which is now called Dead City, that is the that's the one that we'll probably see first, because that's the one that they're already working on. They're partway through filming it, I think, the first season. who knows, they could be past half. I don't know how many episodes they want to do. But I think it makes a lot of sense. When I was watching these 2 episodes through, I had the thought in my mind, like, wow, it would be really hard for somebody who doesn't watch Walking Dead usually to, like, watch these last 8 episodes and, like, really understand what's happening, right? Like Pamela, all the others, if they missed the last year of episodes, it'd be really hard to jump on right now and see these new ones right now, because they wouldn't have all the backstory for all the characters. Like, they just wouldn't know, right? They just wouldn't be able to. It would get, like, as you go more and more seasons, it gets harder and harder for someone to jump on and get caught up, because there's so many, there's just so many episodes, so many characters, so much to it. I definitely appreciate how much content AMC has created for Walking Dead. It's so much, with 16 a year. Like, it's just a lot of hours. If you wanted to get caught up on a season, watch it all the way through, that's 16 times, like, 40 minutes an episode. And some of them were extended. But it would be, I'll do the math here of how many hours that would be. 16 episodes times point. What is it, like, if it's 40 minutes, that's like, so 63, 20, so 2/3 is it, right? So each episode is like 42 minutes with an intro, whatever. So it's like 2/3 of an hour. So it's like, 0.66 hours. So each season, get our sixes, right? Each season would be like, 11 hours probably of watch time per season. So if somebody gets behind, like they stop watching when Rick left and they want to watch the ending, they would have to watch all of the rest of 9. They'd have to watch 10. They'd have to watch 11. You got like 20 hours plus of footage that you could skip through, I guess, if you want to, like, skip through it. But it would be difficult as a jumping on point for people to jump onto, just to check out the last part, like the last 8 episodes. I think it'd still be worth it and be fun to do it, but they just wouldn't understand, because they wouldn't have all the backstory, because it's just so much. Yep. So is what it is. So Lance Hornsby asked Trev, does it seem like part 3 had an increase in the budget? I didn't hear anything. Lance, I like the name, right? It's got like a picture of Lance as well too, which is awesome. He's really good in these episodes too, by the way. Lance is awesome in these 2 episodes. They didn't say if they were increasing the budget for the final 8 episodes, but I imagine they probably gave it at least a full through budget. Like, if you look at the first 2 episodes, you've got Carol in both episodes, Daryl in both episodes, and Negan in episode 17, right? He's in 18 as well, a little bit. I'm trying to think. Yeah, like there's a scene or 2 with him in 18. So with Annie and the pregnancy check thing, right? That's in 18, I believe. Yep. So there probably is a pretty good budget for the last 8 episodes, I think, so that they can go out with a bang, give it a good ending. There's certainly lots of zombies in the first 2 episodes, which is awesome and pretty exciting. So it's really good. I enjoy the first 2 of this last part, and I'm just not sure if they're going to be like, they'll have an end, like it'll be a good ending, I think, because of how many episodes they've done over the seasons. I don't know if like this part will be like the most epic part of The Walking Dead ever, though. Like if I could say that the ending will be better than like season 9 or season 6 or 5 or 4, like, everybody has their favorite part for The Walking Dead, and the part that they feel like is the most epic. I don't think that most people will find this last part to be the most epic. I almost feel like season 9's first half kind of feels like an ending for The Walking Dead in a lot of ways too. So it's unfortunate it's ending off, but it's so much content that they've created for it that definitely doing different spin-offs with it, giving people a jumping on point for a new story for each one makes sense, right? Like if you look at House of the Dragon, for example, House of the Dragon is a new series where you can jump on the first episode. You don't really have to have seen Game of Thrones to enjoy House of the Dragon, right? It's a prequel series. It's a spin-off. You don't really have to have seen the Game of Thrones episodes all the way through. If you did, I think it will add to the enjoyment of House of the Dragon, but you don't have to. With the Walking Dead spin-off series next year, I think it makes sense because it's like, You don't have to, like, they'll set it up to where it'll be more character focused, I think, on the characters that are leading the spinoff. So, and they'll probably have their own characters as well. So it won't be as hard to jump on and watch those episodes as it would be for people to try to get caught up to season 11's first part. That's just so much, so many hours of episodes to watch that, as you'd expect each year, you're going to get some kind of a drop off. It's just what it is. So yeah. Q Eat says season 1, 2, and 3, that's their favorite, right? Mark Johnson says, can we all agree that we want a better finale than Game of Thrones had? I agree with you, Mark, that's for sure. And I think that by default, you'll get a better ending than what Game of Thrones had, because Game of Thrones did something crazy for their ending, right? Like, they had some of their core cast kill some of the others. So depending on who were your favorite characters, maybe you were okay with the Game of Thrones finale. But if you did, have attachments to any of the characters like Daenerys or the others, you're going to be disappointed by that Game of Thrones finale, just the way it ends off. So it is what it is. But yeah, I think the Walking Dead finale, because they're not going to do anything too nuts. Like, they're not going to kill off Daryl or Carol or have Daryl kill Carol, right? Like, that would be a nutty, crazy thing to do. That's kind of what Game of Thrones did, right? Game of Thrones decided to lose their minds and creatively have Daryl kill Carol, right? Is that equivalent to, yeah, that's equivalent to what they did. That's exactly what they did. They had two A-list, characters, and you had the one, kill the other. Maybe you could argue that in Game of Thrones, Carol, maybe you could argue for Walking Dead that Carol has more fans and she's a better character than Daenerys, for example, for Game of Thrones. But it's still, nevertheless, it's still having one of your A-listers kill another one that should be on the same side, kind of, is sort of what they did. So, yeah, Walking Dead, Mark agrees with me. Yeah, Walking Dead can't possibly screw it up that bad. Like, you kind of have to be special, let's say special, to think that that's a good idea. Like, if you were in those Game of Thrones meetings at HBO, you'd either have had to not even watch the show, right? Which I'm sure a lot of the people there don't. They don't even care, right? They're just there to get paid and do their job and leave, right? They that's most employees though anyway. No matter where you work, most people who are there just want to collect a paycheck and then leave, which I understand that. But you'd have to lose your mind to be like, why are you doing something so risky at the end? Why are you doing that? It's totally crazy to do that. But, nobody was there to talk some sense, I think, into them and bring them back a bit. Now, with AMC, I don't think they're going to take a huge risk like that and do like some shock value crazy thing. They might have like Aaron or Rosita or somebody like that. Not to say that Rosita isn't also an A-lister at this point. She is. But you'd have one like that, and it won't be like your very forefront, character. I wouldn't say that she's a B-list or anything. Neither really is Aaron at this point. But it's sort of like, I just, you probably don't want to take crazy risks like that right at the end. I don't think. Yeah. TNV says, didn't you lose a job for doing YouTube, TNV? What do you mean lose a job? I work at the same job I've worked at since I was 21. I work for the same company I've worked for since I was 21. Did I pass up on promotions and things like that in order to do YouTube instead? Yeah, I did. Because I work, a lot of hours doing this and, but, depending on which company you work for, sometimes with promotions, they don't even pay you anyway. So like modern day, a lot of companies nowadays, if you've been with a company for a long time, they may not pay you anyway, even if you move up or whatever. They just like renegotiate, they do stuff. You might get a little bit, but we're talking like 2%, 5%, 8%, stuff like that, depending on where you work for. So, but yeah, I love doing this with you guys so much. Definitely is something I have enjoyed doing, and definitely not something that I regret or that I would have traded off for anything else. I don't think, especially not business-wise. That would have been career suicide to have done that instead of doing this in combination with a job. because I do both together, so it's pretty hard to beat. I think you could see. But no, I didn't quit my day. I still have my day job. I still work, like I'm working tomorrow. I worked yesterday. So yeah, no, I just do this on my day off. But I do work like, when Walking Dead's on and I'm making videos and stuff, I do work like 7 days a week, yeah. Or at least 6 days. This is my 6th day today, so I at least work 6 days and sometimes 7. Most people don't want to do that, right? They don't want to work like 50, 60 hours a week. They don't want to do that. I'll do it because it's, I'm just on my computer or whatever. It's not that big of a deal. So, but I never got let go of a job for YouTube or anything. No, that never happened. That never happened, if that's what you're trying to allude to. No, let's be clear on that. That never happened. Nope. Most people, like where I work and stuff, and the people I've worked with, I don't go around telling people that I'm a YouTuber or an entrepreneur, stuff like that. I don't go around telling people that. They typically tell each other that. I don't know why. They just do. Like without me, I would rather if people didn't know, because I keep it totally separate from my other stuff I do during the day. And also people, people act weird, man. Like if people find out that you do something like that, they get really weird sometimes about it. Some people don't know how to react to it. Especially, I don't do much political stuff, right? But in conspiracy stuff, because it's not really allowed, you get deplatformed and stuff. You get banned. They hate it, basically. And why do they hate it? For the reasons you see in the episodes that you just saw, right? These 2 episodes for Walking Dead. If a regime doesn't control the press and the message, that actually happens in real life too. The same as you see it in these episodes of Walking Dead. So in these episodes of Walking Dead, what happens? What's the storyline for the Commonwealth, as I said in my review? Well, it's pretty simple. Basically, the regime at the Commonwealth loses control of the press, even just for a little while. And there's some published articles and stuff about corruption at the Commonwealth. And pretty soon after that, the mobs start. And it's that way in real life too. It's exactly the same. That's why, if you're on YouTube or you're on the television, set, you're working for a channel or something. Yeah, they can't just let you just go off and say or do whatever you want. Like that's because look at the storyline of this episode. These 2 episodes are a perfect character study in why regimes always have to maintain control of the press. They always have to, and they always have had to, because if not, then they lose control of their people and the minds of the people. So that's why, I don't get involved in that much. But yeah, if you do, I can understand like if people did political commentary, if they could get let go from their jobs and stuff like that too, if they're prominent. But yeah, I don't really tell people, man. It doesn't really. There's really no benefit of me going around telling people that I own my own business and stuff. If I'm in an interview or something, maybe I'll bring it up, or if I was applying for a job, I might not include it at all. I might not even tell them, right? It depends what position it would be for. Some positions, you want people to know if you're, good at public speaking and that kind of stuff. But in other positions, if you're applying for something that's just like a computer science job or something, programming or something, you may not necessarily want people to know that. You may tailor your resume. Might not even put it on my resume. I might tailor it to just, computer science stuff by itself, right? So that's what it is. But these 2 episodes are a good example of exactly why, every television station you watch, every news company you watch are all basically saying the same thing, because they're all controlled, and they have to be. And if they're not controlled, what happens in this episode is what you see. So that's that happens just even naturally. It just happens naturally that movements can build their own way, which is why every regime has to control every different movement, and give them their heroes in every different movement and rein them in and take them in different ways, even if they fight within each other, right? Like in the U.S., you see this a lot last few years. The 2 regimes you guys really have, right, are fighting with each other. And so, but do keep in mind, even though it gets pretty heated between the 2 of them, they're still both owned by the same overall system, by the overall matrix structure. So that's what it is. It has to. So you could say that it's a responsibility of the Matrix, of the Commonwealth, and of the system to get into every different movement and steer them all, right? Whatever movement comes out, if there's one that's natural or unnatural, it's the responsibility of the controlling structure to get into those movements and steer them, which is what they all do. Obviously, you basically have to, or otherwise, what you see in the episode can absolutely happen pretty quickly. So Clam, thanks for the super chat there, Clam. And Clam said, doesn't 1117 and 11C feel bigger scope and more action than 11B? Like you said, yeah, absolutely. I feel like this already the first 2 episodes feel much grander in scope than part 2 of season 11. Although I did like the Reapers and what they did with Leah. It was good. I enjoyed it, but yeah, this does feel much better than those episodes, I think. And I think let's put it this way. I think they will do the best job they can do given what they have from the comics, given what they have set up and who they have to work with, right? Like, none of us, I think, are in delusion that if Andrew Lincoln had stayed in Walking Dead, all these years, it probably would be a little bit better in terms of quality, maybe. It sucks that he had to leave, but he did. But now we get to see the spinoff. So pros and cons of everything. But I think so far, 11C Part 3 does feel better than Part A or Part B. I think so. Part 1 or Part 2. In 1117, there's 803's gunfights, a car chase. Yeah, gunfight better than 804's and 812's. Lots of comments. That's a good question. That's a good comment. I do like this one. Is pretty good. Yeah. They don't do car fights that much, right? Like car chases that much. This one's really, really cool in this one. There's some other ones too, like you mentioned. Some of the stuff in All Out War was pretty cool. I think I like the mix that they did in this one. It feels very epic because they mixed in kind of the political stuff, as I was just discussing here with you guys, very well with the zombies and the backstabbing and infighting that is natural. So especially what they did with Lance in episode 18, where it's kind of revealed that the agents that are working for the Commonwealth are actually working for him. They're not actually working for Pamela. So they sort of do something that undermines, Pamela, right? So they're more loyal to Lance than they are to Pamela. So that's really cool. So we could possibly see Lance usurp Pamela at the Commonwealth and try to take over the entire Commonwealth. Maybe that's what we'll see by the finale. Maybe Lance will end up being the final villain. I don't know. But that would be really cool if he was able to pull it off, and we did see that. I think that would be really good. It's also faithful to the comics as well. They've done a great job with these 2 episodes to start, that's for sure. I think they'll do as best as they can do, considering they've only got 6 episodes left to work with. So you only have 6 episodes to work with. You're trying to end off this epic series in a faithful way. That's going to be really difficult to do and satisfy everybody unless you're bringing Rick back or something huge like that, like Rick and Michonne show up at the end or something. I kind of doubt it. I don't think that we'll see that, but if they were able to do that in the final episode, that would be a satisfying ending. It's unfortunate that almost anything else they do probably won't quite be like a satisfying ending, but you're going to see them in the spin-off series too anyway, so it's like a continuation into the other spin-offs. So that's what it is. But yeah, thanks for the super chat, Clam. I agree with you. 11-17 is really awesome, cool gunfights and everything. I just thought 18 is just an awesome ending part. Really intense, really exciting, and really cool, even though most of these characters are new characters. They're not characters that have been in The Walking Dead for 5 years or something. The Commonwealth characters are still, just the last couple years of these episodes, like starting in the season 10. When did they come in? Was it the 10 extended or was it something like that, right? Like when Eugene starts talking to Stephanie, who we see now is actually Lance's agent, which makes sense because Lance is the one that kind of interrogates Eugene with Stephanie. So it does make sense that the agent Stephanie, whatever her name really is, I don't know if we even know what it is, that she would be loyal to Lance because they're introduced that way at the beginning, which is pretty cool. So you kind of have to think about that if you want to look at it. Yeah, it does really good. Jack Bates, I agree. It does feel like a movie. It's really great, and it's actually much better than the comic version. I'll tell you guys right now. When I was reviewing these issues of the comics of Commonwealth, people didn't like them that much on the paper. Like in a comic book form, political thriller is like really hard to do well. They did a good job of it, but I'm telling you right now, the TV series version for the Commonwealth is already much better than the comic version. The comic version was very lackluster. And this also, in the comic, Sebastian kills Rick. So obviously that can't happen in the TV series. So something different has to happen. It has to be a different type. Maybe there'll still be a big character death, but it'll have to be different for the TV series because Sebastian cannot kill Aaron. They can't do that now because Sebastian's, well, spoilers, but you guys know. So it'll change what happened because in the comics, Sebastian kills Rick. So I'm just thinking about that now. It just entered my mind right now that can't happen. System says, will Lance take Sebastian's story in the comic? Probably, yeah. Lance would be good. Like, can you imagine if they did something really crazy, like they had Lance kill Daryl at the end? That would be like the ultimate troll. But I don't think Daryl has started working on the France spin-off series yet. That would be like the ultimate. Then they might be able to ruin it and outdo the Game of Thrones finale. If Lance kills Daryl to get back at him for the hand stab, maybe that would be worse than the. Maybe that would be worse than the Game of Thrones ending. Like if they announced the Daryl spin-off series and then Lance kills Daryl at the very end. But I don't think that to get back at him for cutting his stabbing his hand. But how could Lance even pull the trigger now, right? Because his hand is like wrecked. So was that his trigger hand or not? I'm trying to think. Like what way was the hand? Was that his right hand? I think it was. Unless I got that wrong, I'd have to think back. But I don't think we'll see Daryl be killed off at the end. But I don't think they've started filming his spin-off series just yet. So. A theory time, right? It's like AMC, they're gonna kill Daryl at the end. Conspiracy, yeah, right. Yeah, we're discussing both episodes pretty much Dr. Death. They both aired tonight. We've seen them both. Go ahead, have at her. Don't worry about it. I think the only people that are here are people that really enjoy Walking Dead and want to see it as soon as they can. So it's going to be premiere for everybody. Ribby the Party Frog, I love that. Isn't the frog thing, like there's that frog meme thing, but doesn't that go back to like some kind of like ancient frog god or something? I forget. I didn't prep that, but there's something about the frog meme thing that's like profound or something. I don't know. I have to look at it. Favorite remaining characters besides Carol, Daryl, or Negan, says Ribby. Favorite remaining characters. I don't know. Who do you guys think? Who are your... Type in the chat. What are your guys' favorite remaining characters for Walking Dead right now? Like, who do you enjoy watching the most? I mean, if I have to rank them, probably Daryl number one, that I enjoy watching the most. Negan number two, maybe Carol. Maybe Carol or Negan. Maybe Carol's ahead of Negan. I don't know. They're like up there at the top three. And then after that, who do we feel, like watching the most? I put like Rosita maybe after that because she's been in the series forever also. Aaron, Eugene. Eugene's fun to watch, but he's fun in a different way. He's like comedy fun. So he's not like fun to watch. Like Rosita's fun to watch in like, Killing Walkers with Mercer, stuff like that. So that's exciting. Eugene is fun in a different way. He's like fun in Josh McDermott, like a comedic comedy relief kind of way. So those would probably be my favorites. After that, like I do like seeing Judith. I like seeing, I'm probably leaving some out. But all the others, man, are like, not that OG. Maggie, right? I forgot about Maggie. She's up there too. She might be above Aaron. Yeah, I'd put her and Rosita like the same the same level. I enjoy watching both. And then, yeah, just Daryl, Carol, Negan. That's basically it. I wouldn't say I really have any others that are really like standout favorites for me. What do you guys think? Who are your favorites to watch in the show right now, based on the roster right now? It's not my favorite roster. I have to say that. Like, in terms of the survivors we have right now, it's not my favorite Walking Dead roster that we've ever had. I feel like the season 6 roster was better. I mean, you had Rick, you had Glenn, you had Morgan came back, so you had a really awesome roster there. So the new characters they've added on as well, like Magna, Yumiko, and the others, I think they're just okay. I don't think they're like really amazing or anything. I think they're just like their scenes are okay to watch. They're good enough, but I don't see them as A-listers at all. I just don't. I don't know. What do you guys say? Scott, Azuri says Scott. Yeah, he should be back in an episode soon here if they're going to go back to Alexandria. Yep. Let's see. What else you guys say? Jay's got Negan as the best character on the show. So Jay said Negan is the best character on this show. He's a character that never gotten stale. Like some characters on the show, I would rather watch the finale early. Yeah, Negan, I agree with you that Negan is one of the best characters in the show. You got him at number 1. I'll still put Daryl ahead of him in my mind for the action sequences and because he's there from the beginning. But Negan is definitely up there. I also like what they've done with him and Annie. And I feel like something's going to happen with Annie. It's probably not going to be good by the end of the series. I kind of feel like Annie probably cannot survive all the way through. Maybe they'll use her with Lance at like the very end or something. That would make Negan go crazy, right? So maybe that would be good. Maybe they'll do that. We'll see what they do with Annie and Negan by the end of the season. I think it's ominous. It's an ominous setup, unless she's still alive in the spinoff and just stays behind or something. But yeah, YOLO. I think that Daryl kind of let Dog go or something. I imagine he's probably, I forget the last scene we saw Dog in. He's probably out there somewhere. Yeah, that's a good question, YOLO, about the Oceanside and Luke and whether or not they're still alive. We don't even know if the Oceanside is still alive right now. So they might not be. Lance might have killed them all. Luke might already be dead and we just don't know it. I actually think that maybe Lance did kill everybody at the Oceanside. I think he did, actually. And I think that he might be our final villain. So I think Lance might be the final villain of the series. He might usurp Pamela, take over the Commonwealth and be the final villain and rematch with Daryl or something. And I think that Lance killed everybody at the Oceanside. I think so. What do you guys think about that? How did you read those scenes with the Oceanside and him? I think he cleared. I think he wiped them out. Which makes him like one of the worst villains in the whole series because even Alpha wouldn't have killed all the females, right? Oceanside was mostly female. So if Lance gunned them all down, that makes him like the worst villain ever in the series, just by number, Thanks for super chat there, Clam. What did you say for this one? Clam said, we got season 8A style battle between Lance's army and our group. Lots of action. The comic never got 11-14 to 11-17 conflicts. That's true. They added it in. And the Mercer and Negan duo. You're right. It's almost like I wish they could have done, instead of 8 episodes, I wish they could have done a season 12 and do like a full season of what they're doing now, or like 10 episodes or something at this pacing. That would be really cool to see. It just comes down to AMC and what they have the budget to do and how many episodes they want to do is what it comes down to, right? Because like AMC, it costs a lot of money to do the episodes, so they had to decide on an episode number. So 8 for the final part makes sense. I'm glad we got these 8 and it didn't get canceled without like a proper ending. So I'm glad they're giving it some kind of proper ending. But you're absolutely right that it's better than a comic, right, Clam? Like you read the comics too, didn't you? Didn't you read those issues when they were coming out? If I remember, I believe you did, right? And so Yeah, definitely Mercer, Negan, all the others. It's way better than the comic. Do you agree with me, Clam, that the comic just didn't like the political aspects of things, the political thriller aspects are just you can't really do them in the comic that well. Like you know, on paper, comic book like political stuff, it's a slog to have to read through all the stuff, and it just doesn't translate that well. TV series can do it much better. So I agree with you. You're right, and it's really awesome. And also a lot of people hated season 8. Also, they didn't like the battles in season 8. So I don't know. We'll see what they think for this part versus season 8 for some of the best action in the series. It's definitely got some of the best action in the series in these episodes. I just think it's really cool the way they brought in the political thriller aspects of it because they've never done that before in Walking Dead. And right now they're doing a really good job of it. I think of Lance as like Two-Face, right? Like Lance is he's your Walking Dead's Two-Face. That's what he is. So we'll see what happens now. Daryl has stabbed him, through the hand. He's going to want to get revenge for that. If he can, find a way to get out of there, which looks like he probably will, he's going to want revenge on Daryl. So I think Lance might be the final villain. Maybe it'll still be Pamela, but now that Sebastian's dead, maybe it will just be Lance. They just better not get crafty here and kill Daryl off at the end. Because if they do that, that's going to be really bad. But it makes sense that Lance would want revenge for Daryl doing that to him. So we'll see, man. Dalton says that Lance Hornsby is for sure getting the Dwight comic death. So I think that the Leah death was supposed to be their interpretation of the Dwight death. So if you look at the Leah death, you have Leah's fighting Maggie. Daryl comes in. Daryl shoots Leah instead of Maggie. So Daryl saves Maggie by killing Leah. So the shot through the head from the side thing, the way that people had discussed it after that happened was that the Leah death is the comic book Dwight death from the comics. So they've already adapted that one, but I see what you mean. Maybe that's not it. Maybe they're going to do another one. But I just I hope they don't kill Daryl off at the very end because they can use Norman Reedus for spin-offs. Now, some people might think they're being crafty saying there's a Daryl spin-off. Maybe there isn't, right? So we'll see if that ends up being the case or not. I'll predict right now that I don't think that Daryl will be killed off by the end of the Walking Dead series. I don't see it. I don't think so. But if they wanted to have one huge character death at the end of the series, and Norman Reedus is kind of getting older and stuff, maybe. But I hope they don't do it. But you guys see what I'm saying? That this rivalry between Lance and Daryl kind of feels like maybe they'll do something like that. I'm sure Lance will be killed off by the end of this series. But, yeah. Let's see. Did I miss one here from you guys? We'll go through your comments, see what you said. System is rigged. Thanks again for the super chat. Did you like System is rigged that they actually put your name in the episode, kind of, right? Because they said that when Sebastian's doing the speech, right, he talks about how Pamela rigs the lotteries. So that's really funny. I just thought about your name when they said that in the episode that she rigs the lotteries, which makes sense actually. Maybe we'll just keep it to Walking Dead. I won't talk about real life, but there are some things in real life that are just like that, where the top people do rig certain things for certain individuals. We won't get into it. But the System is Rigged said Lance could kill Lydia and hurt Daryl that way. I just thought of something I want to say, but I'm not going to say it. I found a cool one, but it's to do with entertainment. I'm not going to say it because I'm not going to say it. But yeah, sometimes some of the top positions are set up already in real life. Some of the top characters and movies and roles, some of them are set up too. But anyway, Lance could kill Lydia and hurt Daryl that way, he says. That would be brutal. There is a rumor that Judith might be killed off before the end of the series, which I don't think they're going to do it. Somebody asked me that. AOTD or I think she did, or somebody asked me that about Judith. They're like, do you think they could kill Judith off by the end of the show? I don't think so, man. I don't think they'll do it, right? Like, do you guys think they would kill Judith off? I don't think they will at all. But that would be worse than killing Daryl to Daryl. Yeah, probably. That would be brutal. So, but I don't think they'll do it. System is rigged. Want to thank Braden CFA as well for the super chat. He's got what game is that, Braden? Is that what game is that you got there? Is that Minecraft? And Braden had said, do you think the variant walkers are aliens? No. How old are you, Braden? No, I don't think so. I don't think they're aliens. I think it's just that there's some slight different types of walkers of the virus that's out there in The Walking Dead. So there's a variant type of zombies. Again, they probably decided to do this because of what's been going on in real life. And I'm not against that. I think it's good. I like that these episodes with the protesters and everything, with the signs and all that, like, it's very current with real life. Because if you look at certain countries, like where I live in Canada, thanks for subscribing, Azuri. Anyone else who's watching has to subscribe. Please subscribe. If you look at, like, even where I live in Canada, dude, there was a protest literally like 50 meters from my house. There was a huge protest 50 meters from my house. I could walk there in 2 minutes. It was right in front of my house. And I was like, I better shut up. I don't know, like, these people. I recognized a couple of them that are actually from where I live. Like, I know a couple of them that went to the protest, like that way from my house. But there was actually some there that I was like, are you from? I didn't think they were from here. I was like, I think these people might be agents because I didn't recognize them. Like, I'd never seen you in my life, and I know a lot of people who live here. And I don't know, their accents were a little funny. Anyway, let's not get into it. But yeah, dude, it's very current with what has been going on in real life. There's protests everywhere. If you look at Sri Lanka, the people overran the government, at least for a bit. Now, whether or not they'll be reinstalled or, whatever will come back. But there are situations like that in real life right now. So I love what they're doing in Walking Dead. With variant walkers, makes a lot of sense. With the civil unrest, makes a lot of sense. And so it's really cool. I think that they've done an incredible job with these first 2 episodes. I think that if you look at Sebastian, essentially what you see in this episode is Sebastian gets compromised by Maxine, who records the conversation that he says on tape, and then she uses it against him right away, right? So that's really like what they did in Walking Dead is really, really smart. Obviously, the writing team and the way they put this together, they took the comic storyline and they advanced it. They expanded on it with some good, just some really, a lot of thought involved in that. Because what you see in these episodes is a pretty cool kind of story run-through of themes that actually do occur in real life, which is really sweet. So at the Commonwealth, you have a political class with Pamela, who reminds me a lot of a person in real life, but I'm not going to say who it is in the States, right? I think you guys know who I'm probably getting at here. So Pamela is like a certain character that you see in real life. Lance is like a two-faced, crafty guy that you might see in real life. Definitely there'd be people like him out there. Even in the workplace, I think there's people like him who, like, they seek to gain leverage wherever they can because they want to, move up into power positions. And they do that, right? So they might catch somebody doing something, they might tell on them right away or stuff like that to gain leverage. They might do stuff like that. People do that stuff. So anyway, what they did with these 2 episodes in Walking Dead and also what they're setting up is really, really well done. It's like the comic version, but all the other themes wrapped up into it with zombies, with action, with all the other stuff. But then also the political aspect is much improved to the comic version, is basically what I'm saying. Much, much improved. So thanks, System is Rigged. Thanks, Braden, for that. And I think for you, Braden, Kirkman did say at one point that aliens started the zombie apocalypse. So there you go. So you might like that if you never knew that. Lance Hornsby, thanks for the super chat there, Lance. It's really funny. I think is there one person named Lance Hornsby or two? Okay, maybe it's one. He's actually got his YouTube picture set to Lance and Lance Hornsby. That's awesome. He's got fans already. This is great. That means he's getting over as a villain really well, especially late in Walking Dead. He's probably, I'd have to say that TV series version, Lance is the best character from Commonwealth as a villain for sure. He's definitely the best villain. I think he's a better villain than Pamela. Right now, it doesn't really feel like Pamela is that much of a villain. She just kind of feels like somebody who's like a natural person, right? Who's got to do some nasty things to stay in her spot. So Lance actually feels like worse than Pamela to me. So YouTube user Lance said, do you think there's a chance that Lance could live into one of the spinoffs? I don't think so, Lance. I don't think Lance can live into the spinoffs. But the rest of what he said is because he has a CRM, so he could use that to live and be a CRM villain. Yeah, you've got a point there, but I was thinking for my predictions for the CRM, for Rick, for Daryl, for Negan and Maggie, because they're traveling outward away from the Commonwealth, I was more thinking that Lance would be the final series villain, or Pamela, one of the two, whoever wins between them, and right now I think Lance might win. Maybe Lance would be the final series villain for Walking Dead, would be killed off like at the very end of the series, like in the last 2 episodes or last episode or something. Maybe second last episode or third last episode, right? Soon, actually. Because that's only like 4 or 5 weeks away at this point. I think Lance will be killed off before the end of the show. I just don't see how the spinoffs could go forward if he's still alive, unless he's in a cell. They could put him in a jail cell. Maybe he's alive in a cell or something, like Negan was after All Out War. But that could work. But I don't think so. I don't see it. I know what you mean. But if they do that, the spinoffs would have to be about them defeating the Commonwealth or something. And I don't see them doing it. So I think that Lance will be the final series villain. Maybe it's Pamela, maybe Lance, one of the two. And we'll see that build up in the next few episodes to the finale coming up here pretty soon. Yeah, so I think that's what we'll see. No, Bird, I'm not gonna do it. No. Anyway, what else do we say here? Ray Studios, what's up, Ray? How you doing, man? Ray said Lance knows about the CRM. Maybe he traded people. He could have. He's the type of person that would. So he might know about the CRM. So I guess that's a possible way he could cross over. Dr. Des says we still don't know what Lance was actually up to. Yeah, I think it's natural for us to say that Lance was probably establishing power for himself, right? So Lance was, and Pamela kind of knows this, right? You can see in the episode 18 that she kind of calls him out that Lance was taking power for himself and not just for the Commonwealth. He was establishing other communities. He was taking over, like what? Alexandria, Hilltop, and the others, right? So he was doing that, and maybe Oceanside too. We don't know if he took it over or if he just wiped it out. Maybe could be either or, I guess, at this point. He's establishing power for himself. Now, is he aware of all the details of CRM or not? We don't know. But I thought at one point they might do like a Commonwealth versus CRM war, which would be really awesome if we could see that. But based on how the spinoffs are leading up, I don't think they can do that because they're splitting the characters off. So I think the Commonwealth battles and everything that's happening in the Commonwealth has to be resolved by the last 2 episodes of this series, I think. I think that's what we're going to see. And then after that, maybe Mercer leads the Commonwealth, or maybe Aaron does, or, I don't know, Yumiko, Maggie, but Maggie's going to leave with Negan, so probably not Maggie. One of them will. Maybe it'll be Yumiko or somebody like that. I don't know, or Mercer. We'll see what they decide and what makes sense for that. So I think that's all of your guys' things I got, right? So a very special thank you again to Clam, for sure. And did you respond back, Clam, about the final episodes when I asked you about the comics and how you feel about the comics versus the series for this part? Dre Razep says, is there a CRM base in New York? So we don't know where it is exactly. There could be. Could be the case. We'll see what they do with CRM going forward. We actually haven't seen the CRM for a little bit now, right? Like, even in Fear, they're not really using CRM right now. They've got their own stuff with Padre and stuff going on as well. So, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, we still don't know what Lance is up to. That's true, Doc Death. I agree. But I think that's my description is probably accurate, right? So, again, thanks to Doc Death, thanks to Ray, and thanks to Systems Rig, Braden, and Lance. So, yeah, dudes. What else did you guys say? Yeah, that's true, Adam. I am wearing a red shirt, a zombie red. Yeah, this shirt, I actually got this zombie shirt, Walking Dead, in like season. What season did I get this in? I don't know. This is probably like season 2 or 3, something like that. I got it around season 2 or 3, and it's still in pretty good shape. I don't really wear it out walking around because sometimes people look at me really weird. Sometimes people get scared. They look at me like they think I have blood all over my shirt. It's like, no, you can see it's a design, but it freaks people out. So I don't wear it outside that much. They get scared, right? Yeah. Adam said they were the cleaners who executed in turn. Yeah, that was cool, right? I thought that was good. Red shirts. Yeah, that's true. That's true. They were red shirts. Yeah, they were used to be walkers after. Yeah, it was sweet what they did with that. That was unexpected. I didn't see that. Really cool. Okay, Polo said, do you watch Black Summer? Yeah, I've reviewed it a few times. I was going to review almost every episode, but I think it's not quite good enough. Oh, nice one. Hold on. I didn't stand up to flex my biceps. There you go. Okay, you can have that though. So I don't know. I haven't worked out yet today. Maybe I'll work out later. Let's see. Lance says, I saw a funny comment. Sebastian equals Hunter. Pamela equals Hill. Yeah, Lance equals Mitch. McConnell, nice. That's about right. You could draw comparisons like that. Ray says Sebastian. Oh, right. He just that's Hunter. That's true, right? That's actually exactly true. That pretty much Sebastian is Hunter. Yeah, I agree with that. Have you guys seen some of the videos? I won't say what it's in the videos. Okay, I won't say what's in the videos. But have you seen some of those videos? Just a little bit. He's like sniffing crack and stuff. Is this real life? It's funny because like sometimes when you learn about stuff in real life, like Ray and the rest of you guys would know about this, right? And who was it? Lance said the other one. Isn't it funny that like real life, when you actually look at it, is like even crazier sometimes than Walking Dead, right? Like you look at Sebastian, the stuff Sebastian's done, the stuff Sebastian does. It's not even close to what you just mentioned. Like, it's not even anywhere near, I don't think, what you just mentioned. It's so much worse. It's funny the way, like, in real life, it's even like, sometimes it's even like worse than in fiction, right? Like, it's even crazier than in Walking Dead that Kirkman could come up with, or Kang, or any of the others could come up with. But that's true, yeah. Spin-off with Princess and Mercer, Chris? I don't think so. I don't think they'll do a spin-off with Mercer and Princess. No, but they'll be back. They'll just stay at the Commonwealth and they'll be around. Is Princess in these episodes? I never noticed if she is. That's okay. I'm not really complaining. If she's not, that's fine. There's a lot of characters, so they can only give so many to each, right? Is what it is. So, yep. Let's see. Yeah, I know, Chris, right? Yeah, Castro, yeah. Yeah, it's so true, dude. Like I said, it's funny that real life is crazier than The Walking Dead. Like, it's, at least with the people. Maybe not with walkers, but in real life, some of the people, at least politically, crazier than even in Walking Dead. I have to admit that, right? But let's not be like Max with the radio, right? Let's get mad. You can understand why. Dan, you're not really late. What's up, Dan? Sanchez, you're not really late. Just the 2 episodes were out today. It's like 1 a.m. in the morning now, so whatever. I'm here. Some of you guys are still up, so that's cool. Yeah, will battle surpass Too Far Gone? I don't think so, because that's like special for its time. But it's still really great what they are doing. Some awesome action sequences and fights and everything else. Really sweet, dude. For sure, absolutely, yeah. So, cool. Yeah. Let's see. Lance said Sebastian's actor played the part super well. I agree. I still have to like get used to the fact that like that's it. So Lance said I went to a private school for 6 months once, and he acted exactly like all the rich yuppies I was classmates with. Great actor. I haven't really ever spent much time around people that go to like private schools and stuff. Not really. I can't really say that I have. I mean, I grew up in a decent enough middle class area, pretty nice. But I can't say that I've encountered anybody that really acts like Sebastian. Not really. Not in my personal life, no. Ray says Mercer equals Clarence Thomas, Princess equals Marjorie Green. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's fair enough as well too, I guess. Yeah. So would Max be Edward? No, Max wouldn't be, but Stephanie would be. Let's put it that way. That makes sense, right? The Stephanie agent would be, yeah. That's right, because that's just a pot, as far as I'm concerned. That's the same. That's the same thing again. That's the same exact thing. So that's the way I would go with that one. But that's up to you, your opinion, what you think about that. So Sebastian's scene was great, off guard for sure, and unexpected. I agree 100%. Max will get offered sanctuary by the CRM. Well. Yeah, that's true, right? She's her and Eugene might have to get out of Dodge now. They might have to leave Commonwealth now. Who is worse, Sebastian or Joffrey in Game of Thrones? Yeah, they're like the same character, right, Chris? That's why I said in the comics that Sebastian is like the Joffrey of Game of Thrones. Well, in the TV series version, Sebastian wasn't that bad. He didn't really do anything that was that brutal. So that's good. Joffrey would be worse. Yeah, Joffrey was worse because Joffrey was like involved with Eddard. He like beheads him and stuff, and him and what's her name? Cersei, right, in Game of Thrones. So Joffrey would be worse, but Sebastian's set up to be pretty bad. You get the idea that Sebastian's been this way probably his whole life, and he's pretty bad. So it's what it is, but not there long enough. Well, we got a chat bot. That's nice. Not there long enough. You guys can send through your comments. I'll just skip the chat bot stuff. Sebastian's not there long enough in the TV series to be as bad as Joffrey was. Joffrey was really bad in Game of Thrones for sure. EB23, did you ever see Kingdom or All of Us Are Dead Netflix? I reviewed All of Us Are Dead. I didn't really like it. Or at least I watched it and mentioned it in a live stream. I didn't really like All of Us Are Dead. Kingdom I haven't seen yet. No, maybe later I'll watch it. Maybe in a couple years. Ray, Lance riding the flight logs. Yeah. Can I say he would be? He feels like somebody to me that would be someone running the flights, running the situation. Yeah, that's what he seems like to me. Yolo said, "Remember, Rosita found a secret room. We need to see more of that." Well, that was more like them finding a room that there were some people that were against the Commonwealth, and we might see more of that as well too. Like some people might not be happy with what happened with Sebastian. They may still want to see Pamela overthrown. Let's say, yeah. So David Brooks says, Trev, do you think we will get the farmhouse scene from the comics in the final episode? Something like that. Yeah, we probably will get something like that pretty soon here, David. I think so. Kingdom does what Lord of the Rings of Power can't on a far smaller budget. Rings of Power is awful, in my opinion, Adam. The amount of money they spent on Rings of Power, they just really screwed up big time. They didn't do a good job at all. They spent so much money on Lord of the Rings, and almost nobody likes it. It's really sad for Amazon that they put that much into it. But they did a lot of stuff with Rings of Power, Lord of the Rings, that like people don't like, so, well, they're going to pay the consequences for that. What does, I don't know, $250 million look like on fire? Just watch Lord of the Rings: Ring of Power. That's what it looks like. Setting, $250 million on fire. It's like, whew, Lord of the Rings series. Yeah, that's basically what it is. Up in flames. Yeah, so that sucks, but oh well, whatever. Do I think Gabriel will be killed off by the end? I think so, Zuri. Yeah, I think so. I think he will be, yeah. And Aaron as well, too. Ivan says, there's something off with the episodes. Felt very similar to the end of Game of Thrones, where characters are just appearing in new locations scene by scene. It all seemed a bit rushed. I agree with you, the Ivans, but it's not a bad thing. People have... yeah, there's always bots. I guess 75%, Dave, of the internet traffic now is bots. So, yeah. So, 75%. That's crazy, right? That's like, 3 out of 4, people online are bots. They're not even real people. So, there you go. You want to talk about being fake. It's like real life. 3/4 of the internet traffic is not real people. Don't bother. Who cares? Don't bother. Why bother? They'll just come in a different one. Who cares? Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time, dude. But yeah, the scenes are a little bit fast paced, but you know what though, like with streaming and stuff nowadays, I mean that's just what it is, right? Like everything is going to be, like people don't have much attention spans, so you kind of have to do it fast paced anyway. So I thought it was good for Walking Dead. They may have to cram a little bit to get everything into these last 8 episodes, but please do. If there isn't that much downtime in the episodes or whatever, that's fine with me. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Clam said, this is the same shirt you wore when you were freaking out over 609 that night. You remember? Yeah. I think 601 and 801 are more epic than No Way Out, though. 601 is pretty damn epic. I agree. And All Out War's first episode is also pretty epic. So I understand. I guess it depends, Clam, on what you like. If you like the... gunfight scenes with, automatic weapons and everything is pretty sweet. If you like all the zombies in 601, that's pretty sweet. I just like No Way Out so much because it's like, I don't know, there's so many zombies. It's just like the ultimate zombie. It's like the ultimate zombie apocalypse movie, and that's why I like it so much. But nowadays, I might like Rick's final episode better. I don't know. It's hard to say. No Way Out or Rick's final episode, Too Far Gone. They've done some really great ones. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Negan's wife has to die, surely, says Daiko. Yeah, I think Annie probably will be killed off before the end of the series. I think so. I don't think Annie's going to survive out all the way. No, I don't think so. Negan is true. Yeah, right. I know. He pretty much is. Like they actually have a lot of similarities between Negan and the Orange Man. There's a lot of similarities between the two. Yeah, there is actually. Their personalities are somewhat. So I like Negan more. Yeah, I won't go in too much into Orange Man's background and stuff, but I like Negan a lot more. Than Orange Man. But Orange Man's funny though. I just think that the Donald is funny. That's all. I think he's entertaining. I think he's hilarious to listen to. And he also does some good stuff for you guys to try to get some for you, depending on tariffs and stuff. So I don't think that's a bad thing for you guys if you live in the States. It's like it's good for you. It costs us more money when we buy stuff from you guys overseas, but it's good for your country to strengthen your country. That's probably one of the reasons why they don't like him that much. Because it keeps doing stuff to strengthen the U.S., and a lot of people don't want that. Joe Mayer says, Trev, this is it for The Walking Dead. I know, brother. This is it, man. It's winding down, dude. It's winding down. Yeah, he does hate him. But, Chris, they all do, though. All of Hollywood hates him. They all hate Orange Man. They have to. I think they have to. They all hate Trump in Hollywood. They all do. I don't know almost anybody in Hollywood that likes him. I can't think of hardly anybody who does. They're all against him. But even if they weren't, their agents would tell them not to. And I say agents in the way like managers and stuff, not in like the other way, right? Hollywood agents and people will tell them to go against him anyway, right? So they will because of all the lobbyists and stuff. yeah, there was obviously a decision made that they didn't really want him being back in again. Maybe he was going off the rails too much and he was doing stuff that some of the other, bigwigs and stuff didn't want him to do internationally and stuff. I do remember he did say that climate change is a scam. So he said that. That must have pissed some people off big time because, like the WEF and the other sections, they would hate that if somebody came out, and he did. He came out and he said that. There's different speeches you can look at where he said that it's a scam, stuff like that. It's like you can understand why he didn't get back in. You can see why. So, yeah. Anyway, what else did you guys say here? Ragman Racing said, hey, Trev, you should write a script to send it to 28 days or 28 weeks later. Faster Zombie Apocalypse show. Just call it 28. Yeah, that'd be fun. I'd love to do that. I always wanted to write a comic, but it's hard to get an artist and get the time and everything. A zombie comic would be fun. I would love to do it at some point. Maybe I will in the future. We'll see. I don't know. Damon Targan says, Amond is a beta and Thrones will be mine. Nice. Yeah. I agree with that. That's true. It's awesome. Clamp said, The Walking Dead is far from over. Rick's show, an epic love story. And the Maggie and Negan show is an epic hate story. Looking forward to Fear the Walking Dead Season 8 too. I really enjoyed Season 7. I agree, Clam. 100% with you that, Fear the Walking Dead Season 8 coming up is going to be great. I haven't seen any trailers for it yet or anything like that just yet, though. So, yep. Let's see. All right, dudes. Well, what are we at now? We're at 1 hour and 12 minutes. So, if it were up to me, my dudes, I would just sit here with you guys all night and talk Walking Dead because it's so much fun. But maybe we'll go for a little bit longer. Let's say another 10 minutes, maybe 10 to 20 minutes. So if you want to send any questions through, get them through now. Let's try to go over. I won't be able to get to everybody's, but we'll get to some of them. Dave Brooks said, what do you think? Trev, you think Negan's child will be like a Laurie Judah situation where Annie dies but the baby lives? I don't think so. I don't think either Annie or the baby are going to survive through the end of the series. I don't think so. Chris said, Trav, did you see an interview with a vampire at AMC? It looks good. It looks good. I like the trailers. I haven't done reviews for the trailers or anything, but interview with a vampire looks really good. I have not seen it yet. No, I haven't seen interview with a vampire. Why did they premiere the premiere episode today? I also got to watch House of the Dragon later anyway. And Anon said Negan's child will look like Maggie. What? How is that possible? I don't think that's possible. I don't see how that works. No, I don't think he's gonna have it. I don't think it's gonna happen. Maybe it will. I don't know. We'll see. Ryan Kell says, how many people would Carol kill the last part of the season? How many people would Carol kill the last part of the season? Well, she might not kill that many, Ryan Kills, because she's kind of taking care of the kids now and doing stuff like that. She hasn't gone into full-out, warrior mode yet for a while. So, yeah. Not since, like, the Whisperers section, I want to say, right? If I can remember correctly. Yeah. Negan will name his kid Glenn. I don't know if he'll be born. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe he will. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he won't be killed off by the end. System said, do you think that if Aaron is killed, it will be Judith? Put him down as a walker. So if Aaron's killed, that it would be Judith that puts him down. Let's see. That would be good. Well, Grace Grace wouldn't be able to do it. Judith would be good to be the one to do it. Yeah, I agree. Adam said the actor who played Andy is the only vocal Republican of The Walking Dead that I know of. I don't even know who that is. Andy? Who are you talking about? Who played Andy in The Walking Dead? Which character's named Andy? You don't mean Andrew Lincoln, do you? Because I'm pretty sure he's not he's not conservative or Republican either. None of them are. I don't think they're even allowed to be. Even if they were, they wouldn't say anything. They'd just be quiet. They kind of have to. That's what they have to do if they want to get roles and stuff. They don't really have much of a choice. Yeah. Which UFC review, SoCal? Which fight are you thinking of? Yeah, I don't know what you asked there. Sorry, man. You'll have to follow up with something. Okay, Damon said, Trev, did you see they're selling Rick Grimes' family album on cold storage on the auction? I did a video on it. yeah, I did a video on the Golden Walking Dead auction and the different items that are up there for sale. And yeah, there's some cool ones. There's some different cool, items for sale. There's like Rick's jacket. There's the Colt Python for sale. There's Daryl's stunt rubber crossbows. There's the motorcycle. There's the car. There's a whole bunch of stuff for Golden's Walking Dead auction, which is pretty cool. But yeah, the prices are going to be too high. I'm not going to be buying anything from the props. It's cool. A bat would be sweet, like a Lucille, but that's going to go for like $3,000, $5,000, $2,000 just for a bat. I mean, it was used in the show. You can get the rubber bat. I think the bid right now is around $2,000 or $1,500 or something for the rubber Lucille from the season 7 premiere, season 6 finale, I think. So you could get it, but that was used in the show, which is pretty cool. But yeah, somebody mentioned that Chris said that there's a Freddy Krueger zombie in the episode. Pretty cool. I didn't really notice it. Wasn't he the actor who plays him in something else? What was he in? That was something. Was he in Walking Dead before? I forget. I don't know. Or was that a different show? Sometimes I review so many different shows. I sometimes they blend in together to me, and I screw that up. Yeah. David Brooks says, Trev, Negan's baby will be named Negan Spaghetti Jr. Smith. Yeah, nice. Yeah. You gotta throw the Smith name at the end there too, just to be standard, right? It's like the most standard American name is Smith. Yeah, I think so. Let's see, Mr. Anderson. Anon, Leah will have what? Okay, now we're getting into stupid comments. People just saying stupid stuff. Okay. What else did you dudes say here? Anyway, that's let's wrap, dudes, because I don't want to lose my voice or anything. That's it for the first 2 episodes. We'll have some videos coming this week for you guys, maybe some different discussion topic, Walking Dead videos. Want to thank you guys for joining and everything. Oh yeah, it was Stranger Things. That's right. Thanks for that unknowing. Thanks for helping me with that one. That's right. He was in Stranger Things with one, or what was the name of one in Stranger Things? What was the kid's name? I don't remember. Anyway, he's in Stranger Things. See, there I go. I'm blending series. At least I recognized I was blending series as I was doing it live. That's good. Let's see. Michael Rucker just stole the show. He would have overshadowed everyone, been a permanent cast member. Well, he did an incredible job. You're right. But yeah, it's cool. Only a few characters are going to survive out all the way through the series. Yeah, that's for sure. PK's Awesome Collection says they should kill off Daryl and make a spin-off with Daryl's zombie corpse walking around. Yeah, nice. Yeah, it'll be zombie with Norman Reedus. You just watch him walk around the whole episode. He just walks around and bites people and stuff. Yeah, that'd be great. Yolo asked me if I'm going to get the 3-0 Rick from season 1. So I got the 3-0 season 5 Rick there. Glenn's back there. Negan's over there. Daryl's up here. I got Merle back there. Shane custom over there. It's cool for season 1 Rick, but I already have a custom of the season 1 Rick as well. So Vecna, thank you, Adam. I appreciate it. I've got the season 1 Rick, in like custom kind of, so I'll probably skip. I don't think I'm going to buy the 3-0 Rick. It's cool and everything though, but could kind of buy it to do a review of the figure, but it's a couple $100. 3-0 is like, their figures are 1/6 scale, so it's a couple $100. I probably won't do it. I don't think so. Even though it is really, we're going to be a really cool figure. David says what? He says in Westeros. I don't know. All right, dudes. Let's wrap up for tonight. I want to thank you guys all for watching. Thanks so much. And don't forget, before you leave, please thumb the video up. Please share. Subscribe at the bottom if you're new. Thanks again for all your support, guys. Hope you enjoyed the first 2 episodes for The Walking Dead's final 8 episodes. And yeah, man, I'll let you dudes go. Have yourselves a great night. Have a good week. And I'll probably have another video for you guys in a few days or so. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Thanks, Yolo. Thanks, everybody else. And I'll let you guys go. Have yourselves a good night, guys. Thanks for watching. See you again. As always, it's Trev saying peace. Yeah, Damon says Dracarys. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Review. Thanks for reminding me. Review for House of the Dragon next couple days when I get a chance. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe out there. I'll see you soon. Trev saying peace. Later, guys. See ya. Yeah, $4 million, Adam, for the house. Well, yeah, I don't think you got to be responsible too. Like, you can love Walking Dead, but you know, is it worth it? You got to question. Like, it's cool, but it's probably not worth it. All right, guys. We'll see you.